So, I've already told you this, but I'm going to tell you again while recorded.
Okay.
Maybe lean forward a little bit.
Why do I have to lean forward? I'm not a lean forward kind of guy.
You're too laid back.
I'm very laid back.
Well, that was loud enough.
There. Is this okay?
Yeah, no, I think we can hear you.
That's why you can hear you. I know you have very good posture, but,
Not always.
almost all the time when I see you, you have very good posture.
Now when I'm eating...
That's why I don't sit down a lot, because when I sit down a lot...
your posture goes to shit?
Well, kind of. Look at me.
Actually, when I'm eating, I'm like a gremlin, like hovering over my meal, kind of bent over. And
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, I'm relaxed when I'm eating, too. I stain a lot of shirts because of it. See, if I was hunched over like a gremlin, I wouldn't stain my shirts as often.
See, yeah, but you'd have back problems in 5 years.
Right.
If you don't already.
Well, I kind of do, but golf helps. It's very stretchy.
Anything active probably helps. Anyway, coffee, our favorite subject.
Our favorite subject.
But attachment, and I told this to you already, but the quote, and I don't remember who said it, but some monk, is there's a huge difference between drinking a cup of coffee, hoping it will make you happy, versus a happy person drinking a cup of coffee.
Yes.
Not just...
We have talked about the whole, I don't drink coffee because I think it's going to make me happy.
Right.
I enjoy a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Some cups of coffee are better than others. But I think anybody who drinks a cup of coffee thinking it's going to make them happy has deeper issues than that cup of coffee. That being said, there are always lines at Starbucks coming out onto West Street, so there might be a lot of people with some serious issues in the city.
Yeah.
But the monk's probably right. I think a lot of people probably are hoping that cup of coffee is going to make them happy.
Well, I think an element of it is subconscious. I think subconsciously we do things thinking that it will make us happy. I don't know it's so much as obvious as I'm getting this coffee to make me happy. I think deep down in their hearts they're looking forward to it in a way that this will make my day a little better.
It's probably the same with people who smoke, right? Having a cigarette, that's probably the same thing.
You can replace coffee with any, think of a spouse or girlfriend. There's a difference between being in a relationship, hoping that person will make you happy, versus you're happy and you're just there for them.
Mm-hmm.
Huge difference. And the second one's way better.
Yeah.
from what I've discovered. I don't know. I think we're all attached to something.
But I get the point of it. I guess coffee's a weird thing as far as that goes. But I will say this, being a former smoker, I think I did think that cigarette was going to make me happy at the moment. But it never did. Probably was going to kill me at some point, but luckily I stopped many years ago. So, but I can see where people would attach that emotion to objects of desire.
Yeah, worldly desires is what they call it. That's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
And then when you add any chemical element, like cigarette has nicotine in it, alcohol. Then,
I was going to say, a cold beer definitely makes me happy.
No, it does not. Well, pleasure and happiness are two different things, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think happiness is I'm happy because I'm alive. It's unconditional.
Sure.
Or unconditional joy, maybe that's a better way to word it. Versus, this makes me happy right now, but once I don't have it, or once I'm hungover, I won't be very happy.
That's very true.
I think that's the danger of attachment, is the thing that you're attached to. Once you don't have it, you throw a fit like a child.
Right, and I think shows you that you can create your own happiness. It's not in that cup of coffee or that cigarette or that beer. It's there for you to take, and you just got to figure out how.
Yeah, you generate it.
Right.
It's the story that in your head that this will make me happy, and then you get happy from that story, but you're making the emotion. See, now we're talking about emotions.
Yeah.
It's true, yeah.
Well,
But we generate our own emotions, so,
basically everything's an emotion, so, it's hard not to talk about it.
Yeah, it's
the whole point of this podcast. We're talking about how we feel about things.
That's true. Likes and dislikes, and
yes.
I don't cares.
Right.
It's a lot of things I don't care.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's the three in Buddhism. It's likes, dislikes, and neutral. That's what they say the base of all emotions are on. Or another way to put it is aggression, passion, and ignorance, which is interesting. And then that's like the 3 primary colors that paint the rest of the palette of all the emotions and perspectives.
It's funny. I'd like to think that there's not much that I would think I wouldn't say, oh, I don't care about that. I'd at least have an opinion on it, and, yeah.
The hard thing about things you ignore is you're ignoring the fact you're ignoring them, so you don't even know.
It's true.
The imagery is a pig. It's a pig that, like, when they eat, they that's all they're focused on, and their blinders are on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you're driving to work and all you're focused on is work, and you miss all the trees and the weather around you. Or when you're like, really need that coffee, and you're just going straight to the coffee pot.
Just going straight to
the step on the cat on the way there, and you don't even notice. That's the hardest one to work with. Aggression's so obvious that you know when you're pissed.
Right.
Passion's pretty obvious. You know when you're attached or craving something. But when you're kind of numb and ignoring the world or ignoring your own problems, you're too busy ignoring it to notice that you're ignoring it.
How do you have an issue?
Someone else has to point it out to you, and then the aggression shows up to cover it up. If someone calls you on something and you get mad, there's usually something there you got to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does happen. You're absolutely right.
I just get mad.
You get defensive and you get, angry, and as you said, more than likely if that happens, then you got some thinking to do.
Or you can ignore it.
Maybe ruminate a little bit,
Say, or ignore it.
Right.
I mean, yeah, there's a danger in overanalyzing it too.
Yeah, but again, if it's something you're trying to figure out, in your own, if you notice it because somebody's giving you grief about it, then you should probably think about it, do something about it.
Like someone's like, hey, you've been drinking too much coffee and you get pissed. Maybe you have an issue with coffee.
Maybe.
Maybe there's
Maybe you just try to talk the other person and drinking more coffee with you.
And maybe he quit.
And then I'll call him a quitter.
It's horrible to use it. I'll use cigarettes. I'm going to use something more extreme. You quit smoking cigarettes? Baby.
right, exactly.
Well, that's how I am when I drink. There's a lot of reasons I don't drink, but one of the reasons is I pull everyone down with me. I'm like, just have one more, it's fine. I'm drinking, you should too.
Right.
I can't be the only one self-destructing here.
Drag someone along for the unknown.
Hey, I have fun when I drink, though. I don't know how people get angry when they drink, because I've never.
Right.
I've always been the goofy kind of...
Me too.
Yeah. I don't like hangovers.
Well, I don't think anybody does.
yeah, that's why people drink.
That's why I'm drinking. I love being hungover.
The drunk's such a... I hate being drunk, but when
right,
I'm hungover...
the hangover, that's what I live
for. True. But that is showing you that you're literally drinking poison.
Yeah.
So perhaps that doesn't make you happy.
Perhaps it shouldn't.
No. But, I mean, the idea is not to give up these things. You don't have to give up all these worldly desires because they don't lead you to happiness. It's to realize that these things don't make you happy. So just know that, but go ahead and drink. Like, it's the metaphor is like drinking poison, but being able to, like, transform that poison, as in, like, use it to your advantage. Know that you're drinking alcohol and how it makes you, but don't overdrink kind of deal.
Right.
Moderation.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah, and I think everything's kind of okay with the intention behind it. Drugs are a very gray area because the chemical alteration in your brain, but still, you can drink and be okay. Like, I've seen people that aren't alcoholics that can drink, but if you're drinking to drown out your problems or run away, anything, if you play video games to run from your problems, if you play Minecraft for 8 hours just to dig a tunnel away from your life, it's not good.
That's not good.
But if you play it for an hour and get bored of it, then...
And, like, that's just a short escape and you're good.
Yeah. Well, I play it, I'm like, why? What's the point of it? It's like life, what's the point of this? Don't. I don't know. Intention's pretty big.
You didn't even have coffee. I keep looking at the cup and I think thinking there's coffee in there and there's just water in there. That tastes like rust.
Rusty water, yeah. I am not attached to this water anyway.
And yet you're still drinking it.
Like a nervous twitch. Yeah, There's like moments of silence, and I'm like, oh shit, we need to talk about something. We can't have the listeners listening to silence.
No.
They might as well meditate with me, and they can listen to silence all they want.
Ooh.
I'm thinking that I'm gonna make you meditate on one of these for like 2 minutes, just to see what your brain does.
Oh, wow.
You might ruminate.
It's always going to come back to that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think I would have a hard time with meditation. Not that I'm not open to it, but
I never force someone to do it.
no.
I'm thinking that I'm gonna make you meditate on one of these.
But why would it be hard for you to do? I'm curious. I get that a lot.
I don't know. I think it's just, more probably the fear of being alone in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a scary place at first.
Yeah, I would imagine it is, and it can be. I mean, I think I just don't. I guess I think that just quiet time isn't necessarily meditation.
No, it's not.
See, so there.
Well, meditation is just being with your mind as it is how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like, you have an anchor like the breath or something or sound, but you're just sitting with yourself.
Sounds very simple.
And
But
yeah,
it's not.
yeah, it's. But think about like that's what people in solitary confinement do, and they lose their minds.
Right.
They say it's worse than like being tortured. Like, that's paraphrasing. I've never read anyone saying that, but I feel like.
I feel like that's what they would say.
Yeah. To some people, that like why else do people run around doing things all day or trying to like plan and like I need something to do, I need someone to be with, I can't be alone with myself.
Right.
Why? It's because we don't have a good relationship with our own minds. They're kind of unknown territory, even though we're with it all day long. That's why I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah.
It's like getting to know a stranger. And the better you know that stranger, the more you can kind of see where it's going and it won't steer you in the wrong direction.
Do you feel that you can know yourself without meditating, though?
I mean, it's hard. I think you can, but it's the only like tool I can think of that really forces you to like sit and get to know your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Versus there's a lot more distractions from it and ways to escape it.
Yep.
It's hard, but I think there are like meditation, the whole point is to bring it into your everyday life so you can play golf and be meditative about it. But a formal meditation, there is something different about that.
Yeah.
That it's a training of the mind.
So
yeah.
I would imagine there is.
Yeah. Well, you'll meet people like, I run, it's my meditation. Like, but put them in a room alone with their minds and they'll want to run away.
Right.
Quite literally.
Right.
Because it gives you a distraction. When
There's a difference between meditation and relaxation.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes meditation can be very not relaxing.
Right.
Very anxious or unsettled.
Yeah.
And you just want to get up and scream and run, but then you just continue to sit. And you're like, oh my God. Like, I'm nuts. Like, it's one of the first realizations you have when you sit. You realize how crazy your mind is. But that means everyone else is, hopefully, is crazy too. Some of them just don't know it.
You're hoping other people are crazy?
No, I know it.
Okay.
But, yeah, but I think that step one is realizing you're nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can kind of, because people that don't think they're crazy are even crazier.
Oh, yeah.
Like, unconsciously insane is how that works. Like, no one's a narcissist and is aware of it. Like, I would think.
No, I think there's people who are aware of it.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but I think there's,
Mm.
And I think the worst thing you can do is call somebody a narcissist when they're not a narcissist.
Yeah. That's pretty harsh.
Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, there's a difference between being selfish and narcissistic, and most people jump to the second one right away.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Because there is an actual diagnosis for narcissism.
Right.
It's very extreme. Anyone can be selfish at times.
Especially if you don't even know the person.
Well, it's easier to label people when you don't know them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
It's been great.
It's been great.
Friendship over.